It can't be that hard, right? After completing the tutorial, I walk over to this apple that's giving out coins for some reason. I didn't really bother to read this dialogue. Walking into the shop, I'm talking here! Walking into the shop, I see multiple different items, but the one that catches my attention the most is the smoke bomb. And the smoke bomb proves to be a pretty good choice when I go into the run and gun Forest Follies, which is of course beaten easily. After that, I head back to the shop, which is where I make the two most important purchases in this entire game: Spread Shot and Roundabout. And with our first boss, the Root Pack, I get to put my loadout to the test. This fight is divided into 3 phases: the potato, who spits dirt balls and worms at you; the onion, who cries like a little; this fancily named carrot, who shoots I-beams and smaller carrots at you. But seeing as this is the first boss in the game, they obviously go down with 0 difficulty. Gee, I wonder where I could go to lose all my life savings in a matter of seconds. Yippee! Just like the Root Pack, Ruby and Croaks are extremely free, with their first phase being easy whether you're getting Flaming Fist or Fireflies, and your second phase literally just being Hold Forward Simulator. But the last phase has 3 possible attacks, with snakes and bulls being the easiest and tigers being the hardest. I wanted to postpone this, but now I have to get to the hardest, most challenging boss in the entire never mind then.
Girls when a boy enters the restroom. Girls when they enter the boys' restroom.
What the hell am I doing with my life? This fight has 2 phases. Phase 1 has seeds, boomerangs, acorns, and a lunge where he can go either to the top or the bottom. This makes this boss feel extremely cluttered, but fortunately his second phase isn't so bad. Seeing as the only attack he can do is so easy to dodge, I'm pretty sure a coughing baby could do it. After somehow getting a flight license in 20 seconds, I take it to the skies with Hildeberg, but luckily she isn't too bad. Her first phase has her flinging laughter at you, while her second can either be Taurus, Sagittarius, or Gemini. Her final phase turns her into the moon while UFOs fly at you, but because I'm built different, I was able to take her down very easily.
I'm Mr. King Dice, I'm the gamest in the land. I never play nice, I'm the devil's right-hand man.
Anyways, next up is Baroness von Bonbon, who, instead of fighting you directly, sends out 3 of our 5 mini-bosses to fight you instead. There's a Muffin, Candy Corn, Jawbreaker, Gumball Machine, and Waffle, as well as tiny Gumdrop minions who aren't really a problem if you're using Roundabout. And then, the final phase, where Baroness von Bonbon finally decides to step in and do something, but seeing as her only way of doing damage is throwing heads at you, it's no surprise I was able to beat her quickly. Oh hey, I didn't know I was a boss in this game. Well, that's alright, I'll take some. Well, I mean, I couldn't have beaten the entire game, Deathlit. I learned how to drop bombs from my aeroplane. And obviously, the next step is to test it out on somebody, and I do just that by fighting the Jimmy. At the start, you'll either have swords, cats, or treasure flying at you, which you have to dodge, and then you move on to his second phase, where he isn't even there. Instead, you have to break these blocks with his face on it before moving to the third phase, which is pretty much non-existent if you just nuke it like I did. His fourth phase has us fighting ourselves, and his final phase is also non-existent if you use a nuke like I did. But there's something I haven't told you yet. On each of the aisles, there are mausoleums that, with the power of the dead, give us new abilities called supers. The reason why I neglected to tell you this till now is because the one on aisle 1 kind of fucking sucks, but the one on aisle 2 allows me to become invincible for 5 whole seconds, and this is the missing piece to the game's best combo. And with the final piece, I was finally able to beat Beppy. After beating a literal inflatable clown, you'd think it couldn't get any weirder, and you'd be wrong, because the next thing I beat is a literal bird. The first phase has him shooting up bullets and eggshells, but you can do this super pro gamer strat that no one knows about called just staying at the back of the screen. Same with the second phase, which looks intimidating, but is incredibly easy. This third phase is Ew, what the fuck is that? Yeah, no, this little vermin doesn't deserve to be explained. And finally, the last phase, where Wally's on his deathbed and projectiles are being shot up at you. And here I was thinking it couldn't get any worse. This dragon is genuinely the worst thing this game has to offer. First off, there's no consistent platforming, so you're constantly hopping around looking for some sort of stability. His first phase has him shooting meteors, I-beams, and his own tail at you, while the second phase has these little fireballs trying to jump up and tickle your booty hole or something. But the last phase, my god, the last phase. Not even my goat to spread shot, roundabout, and super 2 could carry me. But there's something I haven't told you. A trump card up my— nah, I'm just kidding, I just got good. Another IO down. Surely it doesn't get any worse than this, right? This bee may genuinely be the death of me. Oh wait, it is the death of me because of these damn platforms. Genuinely, who at MDHR thought? So, you know how the player just did a level with constantly moving platforms? What if we did it again, but vertical? And make the bee turn into a plane in the last phase.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
This boss makes me so unreasonably angry. The first phase has its mini bee, which flies around the map, dropping off bombs along the way, which is really annoying to deal with when you don't have the proper weapons for it, like I don't have. The second phase can have Rumor either go to the left, right, or middle, with each side having separate attacks. But arguably, the most annoying phase of this fight is the last one. There's pretty much no easy way to do damage if you don't have a weapon like Crackshot or Chaser. Good thing you can skip like 90% of it by using Super 2 during the phase transition. Genuinely, how are these two in the same aisle? His first phase has this like squid gun thing that he shoots, as well as this barrel that for some reason has a personal vendetta against me and me only. After doing more damage for a bit, you can get one of 3 attacks: dogfish, shark, or squid. After even more damage, the ship starts shooting cannonballs at you, and after even more damage, we finally transition into the final phase where Briny-Beard is sent into Kingdom Come or something. I don't know where he went. The ship sends out these fireballs and this big laser beam, but really, all you have to do is crouch and hold the shoot button, so— holy crap. For starters, she can literally just decide, nah, I'm not really feeling it today, and her first phase consists of multiple different attacks that can happen with up to 2 of them occurring at the same time. The second phase is a bunch of eels shooting pellets at you, while every couple of seconds Maria shoots a beam that, if you're caught in, you'll turn into stone. And finally, the last phase. Now, remember when I said, for starters, she can literally just decide, nah, I'm not really feeling it today, and like, not even 10 seconds ago? Yeah, well, this is what I was talking about. If you're as good at the game as I am, that is to say, you made it to this phase with 1 HP, there is a good chance you will just die because she will hit you with an unwinnable scenario. So why don't you just get good at the game? Well, at least the next boss isn't so bad. Like, seriously, do you know a single person who's ever struggled on Sally's stage play? Her first phase just has her hopping around, slamming down from the ceiling, leaving fans on the floor, and occasionally blowing a parryable kiss. Which might sound like a lot, but like, use your eyes, you know? Her second phase, which is the only actually difficult one, has a whopping 3 attacks, which are fans, a baby that drops milk from a window, and Sally releasing rats from her parasol. Phase 3 makes her turn into a god that can summon either a meteor, big wave, or lightning, but once again this is extremely easy. And then phase 4 just has her moving back and forth. Unfortunately, this trend to piss easy baby bosses doesn't continue with our next person though. Just saying this dude's name has probably struck fear into at least one person watching this. Dr. Cal's first phase has an antenna, an opening in the middle which shoots out these parryable laser things, and an opening in the bottom that shoots out these drones. Destroying the antenna makes him shoot out bolts. Destroying his chest exposes his heart, and from there he can either summon a magnet that sucks you towards it, or shoots his arms out into the middle of the screen while shooting out bullets. And destroying his bottom section turns the drones into bombs, which lock onto your position until they explode. Destroying all of these sections makes us go into phase 2, where Cal's robot head flies from either the top or bottom of the screen. Good thing you can just skip this by using the nuke during the phase transition, am I right? Though with the last phase, you aren't so lucky. This is actually one of, if not the most mechanically difficult parts of this game. You can either get the red diamond, which shoots out 8 diamonds in each direction, or the blue diamond, which shoots out 6, above and below these platforms. But honestly, it doesn't even matter what gem you get, because this is a major skill check. This phase takes at least a minute of straight dodging, while all you can hear is Dr. Cow cackling in your ears. Genuinely, the balance of this aisle is wild. Because seriously, this guy and Dr. Cow in the same aisle? Like, how can this gameplay and this gameplay be considered the same skill level? The Phantom Mistress. Oh my god. These guys are absolutely brutal. The first phase has eyeballs being launched at you and pumpkins dropping bricks, but all you have to do is use roundabout and this phase is non-existent. Phase 2 has a skeleton who pops up from one of 3 spots and then smacks both of his hands down, but using spread shot will mow this phase down pretty easily. The third phase is also pretty manageable, with one of these things shooting out lightning while moving around the stage. But it's the last phase which made this boss difficult. Every single time I got to this last phase, I only had 2 HP at most. The amount you have to focus on at one time is actually ridiculous. You have to focus on damaging the heart, the fireballs running down, and these circle things that fly across the screen. Maybe I'm just stupid or something, but this is actually pretty hard to do. And this isn't even my first time playing the game. Boy, am I glad this aisle is. Oh, of course it isn't. Man, I don't want to do this anymore. Warner Worm's first phase has them moving around in a can and either shooting out projectiles, shooting out cherry bombs which then shoot into 2 smaller fires for landing, or a charge attack which you can just dash through. His second phase is actually his hardest, with these bottle caps that sometimes move towards you while Werner Werman alternates between being at the top of the arena and the bottom. And then his last phase, where he gets eaten by a cat, which can either slide its paw to the left or the right of the screen, which makes floorboards fall, and send out these ghosts which shoot out orbs which explode into 2 smaller orbs upon making contact with the ground. I'm not even gonna make the same joke anymore, let's just go to... This boss fight is actually the most unique one in the entire game. With 9 different potential mini-bosses in one, there's actually 2 different strategies for this boss. One where you go for all the heart spaces, which give 1 extra HP, and are random on each run. And the other is to just go for the easy bosses. For me, going with the latter works best. The big pink dice in the middle requires you to parry it. But honestly, what I struggle on the most is the King Dice fight itself. King Dice will send cards out. You may be thinking, oh, this has to be impossible. But by parrying the pink cards, you can dodge the cards and not take any damage. But I suck at this, so my best bet is to use invincibility plus the extra HP I've collected earlier. Or I could just cheese it. But I don't have the weapon required for it, which is disgusting chaser. Finally, the final boss. After all the challenges I've triumphed, I'm faced with one more option. Join the devil, or fight against him. And I join the devil! Fuck this game! And I reject his offer. And the reasonable outcome of this is to defeat the devil himself, because that just makes so much sense. And the tomfoolery continues because phase 1 has like a million different possible attacks. He can either turn into a snake, spider, or a ram. He can summon either bouncing bubbles, a ring of fire, or homing fireballs. And not to mention these purple bastards that run from side to side. Phase 2 is the easiest because of the GOAT spread shot. Okay bro, we get it, you love the spread shot, god damn. Get a load of that guy.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Anyways, the devil can either summon a bomb or an axe, while poker chips fall into platforms. Fun fact, you can actually see what platform a poker chip will fall onto next because that platform will go up. After a bit of damaging, 2 of the platforms go away, which marks the transition into phase 3. Phase 3 removes the bomb and axe attack and replaces it with 2 purple demons that shoot out skulls. This phase can be very overwhelming at times, but if you use a few EX moves, it will be over relatively quickly. And then, the last phase. Everything but one platform goes away as the devil starts crying? The only way to reliably beat this phase is to parry the tears or use invincibility. And with that, the game is finally over. Yeah, no.